Two 90-minute races here this weekend, and this is how the grid shapes up. TFL on pole, zero competition. Hughes and Firth start second. The sister car starts third. If Motorsport, the championship leader Dean Sterling starts fourth. Right then, the rolling start about to get underway here at Donington Park. To the left, TFL with Sarah Reeder on pole position, but Warren Hughes, mightily experienced, is alongside as they charge up now towards Redgate for the first time. This Speed EuroSeries round 5 gets underway with Warren Hughes getting straight into the lead of the race. On board now with Ben Clucas in the sister zero competition car. That is about to come thundering past Sarah Reeder as well for third place. So Sarah's down to at least fourth position. Down the Craner curves, it's Warren Hughes that leads the way. Up to second place, if Motorsport, Dean Sterling. Then it's Ben Clucas. Then it's the pole position driver Sarah Reeder, and just behind the number 21 machine of Robbie Kerr, the ex-Formula 3 champion, now on the tail of Sarah Reeder as they climb up through Swans Curve, looking to the outside as they go around McLean's corner. This will be a brave move. He just about makes it happen. That's a great bit of driving. So the Lannon car then picks up another position. Sarah Reeder just struggling a bit on this first lap of the race, but there is still, as she well knows, a long way to go in this one. They accelerate now through Coppice and on to the Starkey Straight, up to over 100 miles an hour here, and there's another car about to sneak through. That's one of the Wharfs, and that will be Alex Caffey, who's started to work his way through the grid already. Alex Caffey then, the ex-Formula 1 racer, comes through. On board now with Nigel Greensall, the HGRT car. That's Duncan Williams flying past to pick up a position in his Juno. Good to see Duncan Williams on the grid here in the Speed EuroSeries for the first time this season. On the brakes now down towards the Melbourne Loop, and there could be a change back. Yes, indeed, down the inside he goes, fights the wheel a little bit, but he gets the place back. The Ligier picking up one more place, but not the best of starts for Nigel. There's the race leader, Warren Hughes, number 15 WF car, run by Zero Competition, will lead at the end of its first lap. Third will be the sister car of Ben Clucas, and in between them will be Dean Sterling in the If Motorsport machine. That's Robbie Kerr in the Lannon Racing car. Then it's the Wolf of Alex Caffey up to fifth place. Then we've got the two TFL cars, and indeed the TFL machine of Jamie Constable has come now past Sarah Reeder. So Sarah Reeder losing another place, I'm afraid. There's this battle between Lannon Racing and Wolf then, working its way down through the Craner curves. Absolutely nose to tail, two very experienced single-seater racers there, just running a little bit wide there. Is the number 21 machine, and the Wolf is going to come through. On board now with Robbie Kerr, and through comes Alex Caffey to pick up the place, just slightly offline there for Robbie. Picked up a bit of dust and lost the position and momentum as a result of that. On board now with Nigel Greensall. He comes under the bridge and is about to try and pick up a place past the RLR Motorsport machine, the team which have won races in the Speed Series in the past. Bit of a cross up there as he goes into McLean's, but he picks the place up. On board now then with TFL Racing, Sarah Reeder fighting again with the sister car, number 25 machine of Jamie Constable. He's been having a bit of a battle royale for the last couple of laps now. That was through the Melbourne Loop. The race leader serenely on his way, Warren Hughes. Race victor with Jodie Firth in the opening round at Paul Ricard. Not absolutely flying away from second place, but looking comfortable at the moment, it has to be said. And there is Nigel Greensall picking up another place. That's him carving up the inside of the TFL machine. They head down the straight towards Redgate corner. There's the race leader. There's second Dean Sterling. Third and fourth are pretty much tied together though. And coming under attack now is Ben Clucas, and he's coming under attack from ex-Grand Prix point scorer Alex Caffey, who gets a good run out of the old hairpin. Looks to be a quick part of the circuit for him, that. Back on board with Nigel Greensall, another of the TFL Racing Junos for him to try and challenge now. Both cars running wide, and that is Jamie Constable getting out of shape, coming out of the old hairpin. He loses a place. On board with Sarah Reeder, who now goes forwards and picks up that place back from her teammate. So both of them charging past Constable on the run up towards McLean's corner. And again, cars running wide at that part of the course. And there's been a change for third here, because here is the Wolf machine that's ahead of Ben Clucas now. Ben tries to fight back under braking, so that must have been of a copy somewhere, the change of third position. Nigel Greensall absolutely flying after those ahead. A clear track in front of him now. There are the four cars that he's passed recently. And there, the number 3 car of James Rigby, RLR, has picked up a place. That's got ahead of Jamie Constable too. Race leader then coming out of Goddard's to start a new lap, hanging on to him. Dean Sterling, get the feeling that these two cars, these two teams could be battling for the overall championship come the end of the season. On board now with Sarah Reeder, running a little bit wide there, and Rigby comes through in the RLR car, so that Ligier comes and picks up another place. This though is a replay of the start of the race. You This is where Sarah just started to lose positions, lost a couple of places off the start. Look at number 15 car there, Warren Hughes around the outside. It's a very good start as well. Dean Sterling, wasn't it? He went right around the outside line there. The blue Ligier of Nigel Greenswell dropping back, getting boxed in. Here's a replay from Sarah's perspective. Both cars shooting around the outside, and for a brief fraction of time, looked like Sterling might get the lead, but Hughes fought him off. There's the RLR car then. Up ahead now of the two TFLs, so good scrap going on here at this stage of the race. The three of them pulling away to some extent from Duncan Williams. On board now with Sarah Reader, gets a good run, picks up the toe, and he's going to charge down the inside here to get ahead of the RLR Ligier to pick up a place. So Sarah Reader fighting back now, the ex-Caterham racer. Been racing sports cars for a good few seasons now, and her teammates trying to come through as well as they come out of Hollywood now and dive down through the crane of curves. Through he comes, so both TFL machines picking up places there ahead of the RLR Ligier. The two Junos coming out on top in that particular exchange. Race leader just keeping that gap pretty constant from first to second, but the gap from second to third is pretty minimal at the moment. Alex Caffey is really on it at this stage of the race, having got ahead of Ben Clucas. He's left him now, and he's caught up with the second place car, and he's shadowing him as they go through Redgate Corner, through Hollywood and down through the crane of curves. On board with Nigel Greenswell, this is the battle for fourth place then. The orange zero competition car of Ben Clucas is under attack now from Robbie Kerr, and got Nigel Greenswell with the onboard camera there just behind the pair of them. Ben Clucas has got the inside line, but Robbie Kerr has got more momentum, gets his nose in front, bit of contact there. Don't run too wide because the grass is still damp after earlier rain. Onto the grass there with his front right wheel goes Nigel Greenswell after carrying more speed out of the corner. On board with Robbie Kerr. Look how close the three of them are as they thunder down towards the old hairpin. And in the middle of all that action, it's Nigel Greenswell that picks up the place. So he gets up to fifth position. On board now with Robbie Kerr in sixth place. The battle is still not over yet though, because up through Schwarzkopf they come, and Robbie Kerr has got a good run this time. He breaks super late on the way into the right-hander, McLean's at the top of the hill, and back through to fifth place he goes. What tremendous racing this is for the Speed EuroSeries and the CN sports prototype cars. Tremendously quick machines, 2-litre cars, but they get in speeds of around 140, 145 miles an hour at some of the circuits. TFL racing car still having a scrap there. And here's the leader, and here's the battle for second place now. Alex Caffey's got a very good run coming out of Goddard's, and he's got himself the inside line. His foot is in the door. Surely he's going to get through here under braking on the way into Redgate Corner. Yes, Dean Sterling has to give way, has to let him through, and drops down to third position for the first time in this race. Back on board with the Lannan racing car. This tremendous battle that we've got for fourth place here. On the tail, Ben Clucas, just behind the Nigel Greenswell, and out of nowhere, Robbie Kerr picks a late braking point, darts out, can't quite find a way through, almost makes more contact with the back right corner of Ben Clucas. Now he forces his way through. He's going to be side by side once again as they go down through the crane of curves. He's got his nose in front, he's got the line, and he picks up the place. So he's fought all the way back through that little patch to get back into fourth place. Down to fifth is Clucas. Sixth is Nigel Greenswell, ... because he's got a good run here, coming out of the old hairpin, almost runs into the back of Clucas, can't quite find a way through there though, so he sits on the outside line, bides his time, gets on the accelerator, and this is a good exit. The door is opened up again, the right-hander coming up his Coppice corner, and Nigel Greenswell gets through as well, so 2 places lost. Ben Clucas, who you're right on board with now, the zero competition car, finds itself suddenly down to 6th place. Well, hopefully those clouds and the rain that look like it might come, not going to happen just yet, but the tyres are being readied anyway. The treaded tyres being readied. These cars running on Avon slicks at the moment. And Nigel Greenswell now attacks and gets through at the Melbourne Loop to get 4th place back away from Robbie Kerr. Ben Clucas has dropped back a little bit though, and the rain is beginning to fall like on the camera lens. In fact, it's falling quite heavily, and they're on slick tyres, these cars. Coming up to the pit stop window, is it worth coming in yet for these drivers? Now that's Warren Hughes, he's down to 2nd place, like the Wolf has got through, so there may have been a moment in the rain, in the slippery conditions for Warren Hughes. He's dropped to 2nd place as the drivers and teams get ready. They've got to work out now whether it's worth putting the wet tyres on, or is this just a passing shower, and can they wait until the pit window before they start making stops to avoid any extra stops. As onto the grass goes Robbie Kerr, gets into a spin at the old hairpin, full 360. We've had some rain, we've had some drama, but The track is drying up again now, and after a pit stop window, that's Tom Bradshaw in the number 14 Zero competition car, which has worked its way into the lead of the race, having dropped at one point down to 4th place. Jodie Firth is now behind the wheel of the sister number 15 car, and that's down to 2nd position. Warren Hughes just had a little slip in the rain. That's Matt Draper now, having taken over from Dean Sterling in the F Motorsport car. That is 3rd. 4th place, that's John O'Coleman, former Radical Racer and Vida V Sports Car champion, who has taken over from Nigel Greensall for HGRT. And down to 5th place, I'm afraid, is the Wolf Machine. Here to explain why is Alex Caffey.
I think we missed the pit stop because we stopped 1 lap after the pace car. So I think we make something wrong, and but we see what's happened now, because now Maurizio is still on the dry tire, you know, slick tire. So I hope he's drying up a little bit more.
So Zero competition are leading the way, and it's the number 14 machine with its nose in front, but the gap has been coming down for the last few laps. Tom Bradshaw now, who made a name for himself in single-seater races originally from La Palma Audi, but is becoming more and more experienced in sports cars. He's got a battle on his hands. There's damaged-looking Duncan Williams Juno there, which is in the wars a bit, but hopefully will still finish the race. Gap coming down from 3rd to 4th as well, because John O'Coleman is catching up with the If Motorsport machine, the Ligier. There's a good battle for 5th place going on as well. That's Darren Burt now behind the wheel of the number 24 machine. He's onto the tail of the Wolf, which is now being driven by Maurizio Fratti after Alex Caffey's earlier efforts put the car into the lead of the race, and it's just dropped back very quickly there. So problems for Fratti, and he drops to 6th. WFR come through, this time though in a different order, around the back of the circuit. The lights flash, Jodie Firth is happy. He's got into the lead of the race, so superior pace in these dry conditions. Now properly dry track here at Donington Park, putting back ahead of Tom Bradshaw. And this is the battle for 3rd place, on board with John O'Coleman. He's right onto the tail in these closing stages of the 3rd place If Motorsport Ligier, being whirled along by the team. He's given the gap, but he doesn't really need to be, because he can see right ahead of him now the number 8 machine, and they're absolutely nose to tail here. It's going to be down to the wire to see which one of these gets the podium. We're onto the final lap of the race now as they go out of Hollywood and down through the Craner curves. John O'Coleman for the last 5 or 6 laps has been 3 or 4 tenths of a second quicker. Now though, he's just got half a lap or so to try and find his way through. He weaves this way, he weaves that, but there's no mistakes from Matt Draper just ahead. They're just behind them all, still trying to pick up points, is the RLR Motorsport Ligier, Jonathan Wright and James Rigby. Out though of the final corner to take the checkered flag comes the race winner, Jodie Firth, and Zero competition. Warren Hughes taking the first stint. And it's been the perfect start to the weekend, because in 2nd place it's the sister car as Tom Bradshaw takes the checkered flag. So 2nd win of the season for Jodie Firth and for Warren Hughes. But who is going to finish the race in 3rd place, waiting for them to come through? The checkered flag awaits, and it is just about going to be Matt Draper that holds on to take the finish. So round 5 of the Speed EuroSeries goes to Hughes and Firth. Their teammates Clucas and Bradshaw make it a 1-2 for Zero competition. The F Motorsport duo of Sterling and Draper make the final step of the podium.
I had a really good opening few laps where it was quite damp. I seemed to have some good pace in the car, so yeah, pushed on, managed to catch Jodie and make a good pass on him. Unfortunately, our dry pace wasn't anything like as strong as our wet, so unfortunately I just saw the gap dropping down on the pit board, and Jodie came through down into the Melbourne Loop. There's nothing really I could do about that.
That race had it all, I think, with the rain that came, right about the pit window. I think that made it a difficult call for all teams, based on when they needed to change the drivers and when they needed to change tyres. We made a very late call, and I think we were one of the first to change. However, when I went out, I just had no tyre temperature, and the car was terrible. But I knew if I just bided my time, the track had come back to us.